is up, everyone? Welcome to Speak Now Pro Wrestling. Happy Monday, March 10th. This is the last Raw at a normal time slot because for the next 3 weeks, we are going to be having shows from Europe, which they are stacking up. John Cena is going to be appearing on all these shows. And so it's going to be an interesting time. But guys, I'm Denise Salcedo, and of course, I'm joined by Santi Zap. Santi, good to see you once again, man. How are you feeling coming off of this Madison Square Garden show?
That was an awesome finish to the show. This is one of those Raws that quickly reminded me, yeah, this is the road to WrestleMania. I take these Raws for granted because they tend to just sort of disappear after WrestleMania, where we start to just get more common, normal Monday Night Raws. But I should have seen it coming a mile away that we're this close to Mania. It's Madison Square Garden. Of course, the show was going to be an absolute heater.
I was worried, Santi, I'm not even going to lie. I was worried a little bit because I think had some portions of the show been rearranged a little bit, I think this would have been a hotter episode of Raw. But in the beginning, like the first couple of stuff that we got, I started to think, oh my God, this is literally going to feel like a one match show. Like the only reason to tune in was for CM Punk and Seth Rollins in that steel cage match. And I was kind of worried. Did you at all feel that way throughout some points of Raw today, considering the expectations that it was an MSG?
Yeah, I felt like the pacing of the show was really weird at first. Like starting off an MSG show with not some big promo was a little bit weird. Usually MSG is where you deliver like the big story gut punches. So starting with which I still think is crazy that the Royal Rumble winner Jey Uso is feuding with mid-card ass A-Town Down Under. I don't get that. Starting the show in Madison Square Garden with that very regular ass match did not feel appropriate for the Rumble winner, appropriate for Madison Square Garden, or appropriate to this close to WrestleMania. Funny enough, I didn't think that the Logan Paul and Andrew Schultz and AJ Styles segment was particularly great, but I thought it was better than the opening match. I felt like if they were going to open with one of those two, it should have been the Logan Paul and Andrew Schultz stuff and AJ Styles. I felt like that would have been more MSG as opposed to just a match I could have found on any rudimentary episode of Monday Night Raw between Grayson Waller and Jey Uso. And it's not getting better next week for that feud, by the way, because next is just Austin Theory, Jey Uso. Same thing.
Yeah, that was very surprising to me too, because I'm thinking, all right, we're in Madison Square Garden. We're going to get started off like in this electric way. And it's crazy that you say the Logan Paul, AJ Styles thing, because I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, oh yeah, like this wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. At least people cared and there was reactions and we were, interested to see what was going to happen here. So it had far more interest. I'm like, they could have started the show with that. One of the other things I think they could have started the show, they could have started the show with Rhea and Iyo and Bianca.
Oh, that would have been crazy. Even. That would have been crazy, actually, right? Actually, I feel like that's the play. Off the back of the Iyo World Championship win, I feel like that's what should have honestly opened the show. If they were dead set on the show opening up with a match, they picked the wrong one. They should have just started with the Rey Mysterio Tornado tag match with the reveal of El Chadador. I would have preferred that over the Jey Uso match, if I'm being honest with you. But I think you hit it on the head. I feel like the opener should have been that awesome Iyo Sky segment where she just bitch slapped the hell out of both Bianca and Rhea Ripley. That was awesome.
Oh, it was so good to see. I was so scared, Santi, that, might as well get into it since we're already on the topic, but I was so scared during this because I thought they were going to make Iyo feel like a third wheel. I'm thinking, oh my God, how are they going to incorporate her into this when it's very, very clear that the story is between Rhea and Bianca, right? Like the start of this, and they're getting into each other's face. They're telling each other off. And there were two really big disrespectful moments. And I thought, oh no, when Rhea shoved Iyo's face, her whole palm covered her whole face and shoved her. And then Bianca too. Bianca, I think she just like swatted her away. I didn't think it was as nasty as what Rhea did, but still very, very disrespectful. And I'm thinking, oh my God, please tell me like this is leading to something, because if this is how they're going to treat the champion, this is not the way to go about it, right? So Iyo firing back and slapping the hell out of both Rhea and Bianca, they set it up so perfectly, Santi, exactly for us to be like chef's kiss. This was the thing that got people cheering for Iyo and may have even gotten her the most over in that moment.
I agree. Somebody in my chat had said, that they didn't like how much of a third fiddle Iyo Sky was in the promo section. And my reaction was at first to agree, but then also to say, like, when it comes to promo, she's always going to be third fiddle to these two specifically. Like this is not what we know Iyo Sky for, the promos. So I'm glad that they allowed her to stand tall with what we do know her for, which is the physicality, which is her as like a legitimate physical threat. I love the fact that, you know, they kind of played on your and mine expectations that they might little bro her in this and they might not treat her seriously, and they did exactly that, only to quickly remind us that Iyo Sky is that bad motherfucker that you don't push around like that. I thought that segment was brilliant, and aside from the main event shenanigans, that was my favorite thing of the entire night.
Yes, completely agree. I thought they killed it. I really do wish they would have kicked off the show with this because, like you said, with the way that we closed last week's Santi, last week's Raw post show that you and I did was our most viewed Raw post show because people, and more than the Big E New Day turn that happened. And why? Because people wanted to talk about the Iyo Rhea thing. People wanted to talk about Seth and CM Punk and all of that. And lo and behold, those are the two hot things of Monday Night Raw here today. So I love that segment. I feel like now I feel like for a second there was people wondering, okay, if we do this triple threat match, there's a possibility it could main event WrestleMania. Now, I don't think that's a possibility anymore, given the way that we ended Monday Night Raw. And so let's get to it. So I had mentioned that this was pretty much like a one match show. And this, I don't even know how to describe it. The CM Punk, Seth Rollins, steel cage match was freaking awesome for multiple reasons. I want to start off with the actual body portion of the matchup here because Seth Rollins and CM Punk did a bunch of near falls. They both did each other's moves. CM Punk did the stomp. Seth Rollins did the GTS. And each and every single time, there was at least 2 times during this match, Santi, where I thought it was over. And sometimes I feel like I'm pretty good at like trying to guess, like, okay, like this is the actual finish of the match. My read was completely off this match. Usually my radar is a lot better. This time it was not good. I fell for so many moments that I legitimately thought were going to be it, and then they weren't. But this match was really freaking good. The ending, Roman Reigns gets involved and pulls out Seth Rollins and attacks him. He ends up helping Seth Rollins win this match. I didn't love that, but I'll explain that more later on. But let's talk about the actual portion of this match, though, between Seth and Punk. What'd you think?
I mean, tough act to follow a cage match from AEW Revolution between Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. I had that match in the back of my head, right? I was like, how can they elevate themselves to that level when it's one, WWE, and they're not going to take the risks that they do in AEW, and two, it's Monday Night Raw, it's not a PLE. Well, the whole aspect that it was on Monday Night Raw was thrown out the window. This was a WWE PLE match, in my opinion, in terms of how it was structured. But then I was very quickly reminded of how WWE is able to generate this type of excitement for their matches without needing to do like the crazy stuff that we saw at AEW Revolution. It's the star power of Seth and CM Punk, and just their in-ring psychology was brilliant. The psychology of like, go ahead, here's the door, you can leave, I'll give you the win, I don't give a fuck if you win, but you're gonna be a little bitch boy if this is the route that you take. I love the fact that they both played on that there was no desire to escape. Early on in the match, there was no desire to go for pinfalls. They literally just wanted to cause each other as much pain as possible. And when you are able to put all of that narrative and the star power and the quality of the match and the crowd, you got yourself just a special affair. I thought that the match was absolutely fantastic. It over-delivered, in my opinion. I usually don't like steel cage matches, Denise. I double don't like steel cage matches, usually on free TV. It turns out, though, that current era WWE has figured it out, because Solo versus Cody Rhodes was great, and this was great as well. Vince McMahon era free steel cage matches were usually ass, but they've been great as of late. I thought the match was great. And here's the thing, I get, he helped Seth Rollins win. Who cares, right? Like and I say who cares in the sense that, like, the portion of the match of like winning via escaping, they didn't care about that. That's not a way to brag. I don't think Seth Rollins is going to be like, see, punk, I beat you, blah, 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 blah. This basically was just by lack of other words, a disqualification finish. This was a no contest with just the asterisk that Seth Rollins technically won. I love this match.
Well, at first I was very irritated by that. I'm like, he helped him win. What the F? But then here's how I tied this in. Because at the end of this, after Roman Reigns basically beat the crap out of Seth Rollins, right? Like, he beat the crap out of him, spear, you name it, attack the hell out of him. And in the ring, we were seeing this like love affair kind of moment between CM Punk and Paul Heyman, and they were whispering God knows what to each other. It looked like Paul Heyman was telling Punk something. I don't know. That was what I took from that. And then we get this brilliant moment where Roman Reigns turns around and realizes that they are sort of bonding, right? Punk and Paul. And he gets jealous. That was 1000% jealousy right there. And he gets into the ring and he goes after CM Punk, attacks CM Punk, lays him out. And in that moment, everybody knew, okay, we are headed to a triple threat match, Roman, Seth, and CM Punk at WrestleMania. And here is why at the end of that, I was okay with what ended up happening with Roman helping out Seth win. Because for one, that was already one reason for CM Punk to be freaking pissed at Roman Reigns and be like, dude, we were having this hell of a match. I could have won this, and you had to come in, butt your nose into this, and help Seth Rollins win. I don't care what your guys' problem is, but you ruined my match here, right? So that's one portion. And then obviously the second portion, him going in there and kicking his ass, right? On top of everything else. But this is looking like the match that we're going to get, Santi. How do you feel now knowing that this is the direction that it's looking like it's headed?
I mean, opening match, Jey Uso?
I feel so bad. They are like completely, you have seen that meme, right? Where it's the mom with the baby in the water, and then there's the baby that's drowning, and then there's the skeleton at the bottom. That's Jey Uso right now, unfortunately.
How do I feel about this match? When I heard you kind of explain it, yeah, they've set this up all perfectly. So it doesn't just feel like CM Punk is a shoehorned third person in there. All three of these guys have now justifiable reasons to want to kill each other. I did laugh at the Roman Reigns thing because that was totally like jealous girlfriend vibes, 100%. Because I swear to God, Denise, when I first started dating my current partner, Sarah, I swear to God, this moment happened where I was at a bar and I was buying us drinks while she was waiting for us. Girl came to chat me up, and Sarah became the OTC, the original tribal chief, and she saw that shit, and it was just not gonna fly with her. And she came in there and took out the tribe, took out I guess what would be Paul Heyman in that scenario. No violence, just a lot of catty words were said, and I'm just there like, I'm wanted.
What? They actually argued?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wait, and this was the first day you said?
No, not first day, but early on.
Hell yeah, I love that. I love that because usually you're like, okay, fine, like, let me see how this plays out. But the fact that she went in there, like,
she went in there.
This is my man, get your paws off of him. I love that. That would have been a WrestleMania match right there.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, overall, like in terms of this triple threat, this is the main event. It just is. It needs nothing else. I'm seeing people saying winners should go on to face Cena and being added to the night 2 main event. No. This night 2 main event, don't touch it. It's Cody Rhodes, John Cena, final boss Travis Scott, and whatever other shenanigans might be sprinkled in. This triple threat, we can be in rare air where we can literally just have a triple threat because they hate each other, because triple threats always have something, right? It's always for a title, number 1 contendership, it's a tournament to advance, whatever it might be. I like the fact that this is just a triple threat of 3 dudes that hate each other for equally valid reasons across the trifecta.
It's the point of pride, I think, at this point, because that was the thing that I loved most about this is that each guy has a different story with the other guy, but it all sort of ties in. Like you got the CM Punk, Seth Rollins has been, the thorn on my side. Like I'm sick and tired of this freaking guy and his jealousy for me. Seth Rollins hates CM Punk. Then you have, of course, Roman and Seth, former friends who are now so freaking different and would not be, seen on the same side of any argument. And then you have Roman and CM Punk who are kind of like Roman is jealous of CM Punk. CM Punk is trying to prove that he might be a little bit better than Roman Reigns, right? So all of these three guys, totally different stories within each person, but it works. It really works, all culminating together. And also, this really does kill two birds with one stone in the sense that we were wondering, okay, with CM Punk, he's got to get his WrestleMania main event, right? Like at this point, we were wondering, when is his WrestleMania going to happen? Match going to happen? Are we going to get Roman and Punk? Are we going to get Roman and Seth? And all of the questions that we had, all of the things, the boxes we still needed to check, finally got checked in this with this whole story, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for this. By the way, while I'm yapping here, Denise, just a heads up, we're getting some feedback every once in a while from your mic there.
From me?
Yeah, from you. Overall, I'm excited for this to be the night one main event of WrestleMania. I thought that this was a great way to end Monday Night Raw. I did find it funny that it took it took the WWE security like 5 minutes of Roman beating into Seth Rollins's lifeless corpse for them to finally come out and finally be like, Roman, please stop. All right, stop it. I hate the whole Adam Pearce coming out to break up brawls. It's such a tired trope at this point. I'm bored of it.
Okay, so how's my audio now? I'm not sure if I did anything, but
I don't know if you did anything too. It was like random and sporadic. My chat was thinking that I was farting, but no, it was you.
That's
your
so
feedback.
Weird. Okay, yeah. I'm not sure what happened there, but if
I think we can move on.
Again, just let me know though, because I'm not really sure what happened. Okay, no, but yes, this is now something that I'm just like, wow. This is a match that I can finally get on board with. Like you said earlier, we're finally in the WrestleMania season, and I think we're all feeling it. All right, we got a couple of super chats here. Let's get right to them because we kind of got a bit to get into. Oh, wow, we definitely got a bit to get into. All right, we got... Let me see, where am I at here? All right, we got Gabriel Salazar who says, some people didn't want to see a triple threat. I've been excited because Roman, Seth, Punk, the star power, and the buildup going to be cinema. Gracias. Yeah, and one of the things that you had just said too, Santi, was that a lot of people were thinking that there was going to be a add CM Punk to Cody and Cody and John Cena. I 100% agree with you. They did not. Nobody needs to be added to that match because that is just perfect as is. We also have Tyler Manning here who says, how long do you think John Cena is heel? I feel like maybe SummerSlam, at SummerSlam, ending it around SummerSlam or a little bit after SummerSlam.
Just not the whole run. It can't be. He has to have his come to light moment.
100%. Like, he's not going to end his career. He's not going to end his career as a freaking heel. Like, that would be crazy. Taylor Manning, thank you so much for the super chat. We got Rare Gamer 99 who says, Lisa Tequila, who is the masked man? Let's get into that. That was one of my favorite parts of the first hour of Monday Night Raw. And that was, we had Chad Gable. Well, maybe I shouldn't say.
Well, yeah, relax your accusatory language there, okay? I'm not trying to get sued by Mr. Gable for your slanderous lies. So please rephrase what you were about to say.
I will rephrase what I'm about to say. Someone that we believe may or may not be Chad Gable. So we have
don't add me in there. If this is not a we, this is not a we. This is a you thing.
I'm done sugarcoating this. It's Chad Gable.
What the fuck?
100% on
you have no proof.
No
proof whatsoever. This is disgusting. This is libel.
You want to know what my proof was? You want to know what my proof was? That run that we saw. I have never seen anyone run like that before. I just know that was Chad Gable's run.
This is your evidence? Your Honor, I do declare by the run, it was most certainly Chad Gable. No one's buying that. There is no court that would that would find Chad Gable guilty here. This is along the same lines of treachery as your words towards Dominic Mysterio on a weekly basis.
All right. Well, I'm on board that it's Chad Gable, and I can't wait. I am loving this because him and Kathy Kelly had this whole like back and forth after this whole drama. So let me break down what I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, fun little matchup there. I was kind of hoping that Rey and Dragon Lee would win, but it ended up being Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Why? Because we had not Chad Gable come out in a, what did it say, American Made, or did it say American Gable? I'm not even sure what it said. but this red, white, and blue lucha mask, which, mind you, last week, who had gotten a gift from a box that we didn't see? Chad Gable. And so Chad Gable gets this gift last week, and now this week he comes out in this mask, red, white, and blue. He goes out there, gets involved in this match. This leads to Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods getting this win. However, backstage, Kathy Kelly and Chad Gable, they're doing an interview, and Kathy Kelly's calling him out. And Chad is like, this is not me. And then we see security escorting another guy wearing the exact same outfit
Exactly.
that we had seen. Taken out.
How could it have been Chad Gable if they were escorting out the guy that was wearing the mask? Listen, famous show right now going on Amazon Prime, Reacher. There's a quote from that show that gets quoted every couple of episodes. Assumptions get people killed in an investigation. You assuming that there was a mask in that box is wrong. It could have been a box of cucumbers, for as far as I'm concerned. Did you ever see what was in the box, Denise?
No.
Exactly.
I feel like I'm
please.
on trial.
You did not see what was on the box. You saw the second shooter. You saw him. You have the evidence of the second person that was wearing the mask. So once again, for Chad Gable's lawyers, if you are watching this, please do not include me in the lawsuit. This is Denise Salcedo. In fact, this isn't even my show. This is hers. This is all her. I'm just a contracted employee. She's the boss here. I am not part of this.
I am offended that I am being put on trial here at this moment. I cannot wait till the moment gets revealed that it was Chad Gable.
All right, Lisa. Let's move on.
Kathy Kelly will get her justice and her journalistic integrity back. We got Taylor Manning here who says, who's faced Seth Roman Punk? Ooh, that's tough. They kind of all feel like it. All of them.
Yeah, they kind of all do. And I bet you here's what's going to be cool about this feud, Denise. At some point, all three of them will have their heel moment. They'll all have their babyface moment because it's all about the interpretation of the beholder. It's to the interpretation of the fans. Are you a Seth Rollins fan? Then what Roman just did is a massive heel move, right? And vice versa. There's going to be all of these moments that will blend the lines between babyface and heel. I don't think that for this feud specifically that you need to have the twirl your mustache evildoer. I think you can literally just have these three guys be who they are and allow fans to interpret who they see as the good and the bad guy.
Right, because even right now, if you were to say, hey, Denise, pick a guy who's going over and winning this match, I can't give you an answer. It's way too soon for me to even be able to think about who would be coming out the victor in this match. Right now, based off of what we're seeing, I kind of feel like I'm siding a little bit with everybody in this case. Like, I'm kind of on the side of Roman Reigns. You know, he obviously wants to get revenge on Seth Rollins after his actions at the Royal Rumble, but then I have to also side with him on being a little jelly with this Paul Heyman CM Punk relationship. So part of me is like, you know what, Roman Reigns, you go in there and you fight CM Punk. But then the other part of me is a really big CM Punk fan. And I'm like, dude, man, you could have beat Seth Rollins 2 times in a row. And now this guy costed you the match and he kicked your ass afterwards when you were already down and didn't even have a chance to defend yourself. So I feel like right now I'm a little bit with everybody. And also for Seth Rollins, he had a chance to get a clean victory back on CM Punk after what had happened with at Netflix Raw premiere. So it's like, dang, I'm with everybody right now. I haven't fully decided just yet. We got Jacob Tatum. Thank you so much, Jacob. He says Iyo Sky promo was okay, but made up for her with it for her 2 wicked slaps. And the New Day still sucks. Plus Jey Uso and Gunther equals boring. I feel so bad, but I'm not interested right now at all in this Jey Uso Gunther storyline. I thought they had won me back for a moment, maybe like the week or 2 weeks after. They really did win me back when Jey Uso cut that emotional promo And then when Gunther did that walk from the crowd down, or he was talking shit to all of the Jey Uso fans, they had me in those 2 moments. After that, they kind of lost me again.
I'm with you. They haven't been able to win me over since they've shifted into this this Alpha Academy and A Town Down Under stuff. They need to end these side quests and get back to the nucleus of this feud, Jay and Gunther.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And I feel bad. I was happy for Grayson Waller to at least get this spot. I really want them to break up A Town Down Under. They need to be over with already. And I do think Grayson Waller has the potential to be a really great heel on the show if they invested the time and energy into that. But right now, they kind of feel forgotten about, and they feel like they're just being plugged in there just to give Jey Uso a win, which I'm glad, by the way, that after Jey Uso got this win was when Gunther came out and attacked him. It would have been kind of sucky if he came out and attacked him during this match. I'm glad he was actually able to get a win,
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much to Jacob. We got Toby here who says 219K. Denise is killing it 2025. Well deserved. Dude, Elimination Chamber did great business. I feel, Santi, for like every single podcaster, content creator, you name it, because there was so much interest in wanting to talk about John Cena's heel turn. So thank you, Cena, because you drove up a shit ton of interest, as well as The Rock too.
My group chat with my editors and with my thumbnail artists, I'm like, guys, thumbnail dude, just get all the Cena heel photos for these next 5 videos worth of thumbnails. That's awesome. Congratulations, because I remember you were like crawling through lava to get to 200K, and then to have that big bump of an extra 20K. That's awesome. Good for you.
I could not get to 200K to save my life. It took me like 3 months. It took me like 3 months to freaking move. It was so irritating, but thank you so much to Toby and to everybody. Thank you. We got Jacob Tatum here who says Bayley needs to start winning instead of losing. That was another thing that happened on the show that I did not love. It was her and Raquel, with her taking the loss. Mind you, of course, Liv Morgan and your bestie Dominic Mysterio were getting involved in this, but were you a fan of the outcome of what we got in this match?
I wasn't just I was more confused about the outcome. I really thought we were going to go down a path where it was going to be like Roxanne Perez and Bayley and Lyra Valkyria triple threat Intercontinental Championship. I was like, that vision, I like it. The result of Raquel, it's not that I don't like it. I was just very confused by it. And more than anything, however, that what was criminal here was that it was just not a good match. It was not a good match, and that was you could hear a pin drop in that arena of 20,000 people. The crowd was not into this match either.
I think one of the things right now that is hurting, or that specifically hurt this match, was that in regards to Raquel, she doesn't feel like her own person with her own individual needs and wants and, growth on the show. She is Liv Morgan's sidekick, and we all know that. So there's not that vested interest into Raquel as a whole. That's the problem right there. Then on top of that, what was really working for Bayley as of late? It was that feud with Roxanne Perez. I still want to see Bayley versus Roxanne Perez at WrestleMania, but I don't want to see Bayley go into this match having picked up how many losses now? I feel like she's picking up a loss almost every other match. Like wins one, loses one, wins one, loses one is what I feel like we've been seeing a whole lot with Bayley. And I'm sure if I pull up the stats, we'll be able to actually give the full rundown, but it does feel like she's finding herself on that losing side a little bit more. And so you have those two things come together and nobody was interested there, which was very, very unfortunate. Thank you so much to Jacob Tatum. We got Ben Fossey here who says, do you think Paul Heyman will help CM Punk win? We could never trust Paul Heyman. That's definitely something we have learned time and time again. That could be the favor, right? We don't know if he's going to use the favor to get into the match, or hell, maybe the favor is to help him out.
Yeah, there's like part of me that's like, they definitely forgot about the favor.
There's no way. We talk about it every week.
I want to believe that they haven't forgotten about it, but hey, remember AJ Styles versus Bron Breakker?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Whatever happened
exactly.
To that? Today.
They just forget about things.
I thought that was going to be the WrestleMania match. AJ Styles and Bron Breakker. Maybe
they just forgot about it. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's going to be AJ Styles Logan from what they're setting up. I'm just using that as an example that WWE forgets about things. The contract addendum to the ladder match, they never even told us what that was. I think it's just such a big plot narrative that I want to believe that they wouldn't forget about it, but like they might have.
I know that Triple H is super online and reading people's comments and feedbacks on the show. There's no way he hasn't seen that people are talking about this dang favor.
We've been talking about it forever. Forever we've been talking about this favor.
I'm sorry, but there's no way they can miss that. They better not. Like, oh, it's the favor that we're still waiting on, and we're also still waiting on what The Rock gave Cody Rhodes. That was never fully confirmed, was it?
No, that was the Rolex that Cena actually used as brass knuckles.
Oh, that was what he did? See, they didn't even make a big fuss about that.
They did not make a big fuss about it, but it was the Rolex.
Okay, well, there you go. Never mind. They've solved it. My bad. All right, we got Luis Arturo Mendez who says, Don Salcedo, the new mafia boss of the West Coast. I'll take it, man. I will take it. Luis, thank you so much for the love and the generous super chat. We got Nathan and John here who says Damian versus Gunther had a better match buildup. It actually kind of did. It got me more into Damian Priest. I was more into Damian Priest heading into his match with Gunther than I was when Damian Priest was actually champion.
I can vibe with that.
Nathan, thank you so much for the super chat. We got another one from Nathan who says, Chad Gable, Mr. America will feed for generations. He did have the Mr.
Excuse me,
America.
Nathan. Please do not send your libelous messages here. Your lies, your slanders, your money is appreciated, but your lies are not.
I'm telling you, Mr. You know what? I didn't even know what to call him. Someone in the chat said that he was Mr. Patriotico.
Or literally just Luchador.
Luchador. That's true, right? I didn't even see
right?
that.
It's right there.
I literally just didn't even see that. That's great. Nathan and John, thank you so much, man. All right, let's get into, actually, since you just touched on the topic of Bron Breakker, we do need to get into Bron Breakker and Finn Balor. So Dominic Mysterio set up this match between Finn and Bron Breakker for next week's show for the Intercontinental Championship. Finn is super thankful, gives Dominic this big hug. But Dominic, I know, Santi, you're going to defend Dominic, but Dominic gives them this like really shady look. And I think we all sensed we are getting finally, the Judgment Day is going to turn on freaking Finn Balor.
Do you think it's with a new member, however? Like, because that's been obviously the Finn Balor leaving the Judgment Day and Dominic taking over has sort of been a narrative point that they've been kind of dangling like a carrot for a long time. But now also we have the introduction of the narrative point that Dominic wants a new member desperately. Do you think that they go hand in hand? The new member is what gets Finn Balor kicked out of the group?
Yes and yes. I think it has to be because at this point they have, you were just mentioning, WWE actually going through and doing the things that they have teased that they're going to do. I mean, it was weeks now, like multiple weeks of them talking about this new member and Finn Balor not being the one that doesn't want it, but Dom definitely does. To me, that tells me that this is what it's going to happen. And one of the things that I also noticed too during this was Carlito looked very, very confused during this. And I feel like everyone, like no one but Dominic Mysterio seems to know what the plan is. Like even Liv Morgan didn't really knew like she knew what the plan was, but she knew that something was up just based off of like the interactions. And I think Carlito, I like to believe that he was confused because I like to believe that maybe we are actually seeing. Sorry, I just heard the feedback in my ear for the first time and I was like, wait, what? What is that? I think for the first time though, that Carlito was they were probably talking all this shit on Finn Balor behind his back. And so now he's like, what the hell? Like, why is he helping him get a match when we've been probably talking all this shit behind his back? That's what I like to assume went down with all of this.
Yeah, it does feel like there is a bigger plan here because if you remember, Liv Morgan might be in the dark on the plan because she said to Dom, I still don't know why you didn't just take that Intercontinental Championship match for yourself. And it just sort of seemed like Dominic was maybe a step ahead and there's a bigger plan that's yet to play out. And I do sincerely hope that this plan does involve a new member of the Judgment Day. I think that this would be such an awesome way to kick off this European tour for Monday Night Raw in Brussels next week. Plus, that episode already looks awesome and stacked. I feel like adding a new member here on the road to WrestleMania and maybe setting us up for Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio as a WrestleMania feud could be interesting for both parties involved. And a match that I could realistically actually see Finn Balor winning, because do you see Finn Balor winning next week? Because I don't.
Absolutely not. No, I
Yeah,
would be pissed if he did. I would be livid.
I would
Like,
be
what the hell are
too.
you doing? No way. So then hold on. So then if that leaves Finn Balor and Dominic as a WrestleMania match, and then AJ Styles is out of that Braun Breaker match, and then he's probably going to be wrestling Logan Paul, then who does that leave Braun Breaker with? He
It
went
could
from
be whoever
multiple options to nobody.
it could be the new member of the Judgment Day, whoever ends up joining the group. It could
Oh
be
my
that.
gosh. What if, okay, so your idea was Aleister Black possibly joining the group. If Aleister Black beats Braun Breaker, though, for the Intercontinental Championship, I kind of don't want that.
Yeah.
I'm not really for it.
I'm not. Well, I'm not suggesting one winning over the other. I'm just suggesting the match at WrestleMania. Does the match tickle the fancy or no?
Yes, but only if Braun Breaker defeats Aleister.
Oh my God, you're such a
But
spoiled
then,
wrestling
but then
fan.
how
But
is
only if my guy wins. Wah!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to see this whole like, here's a new toy. Let's have fun and only play with the new toy and screw this whole thing that we've been doing with this other person. That's why.
Yeah, I guess it's fine. And listen, Sheamus is still around the corner. They could always just bring back Sheamus.
All right, see, if they did Sheamus and Braun Breaker just so Sheamus can finally get the Intercontinental Championship, all right, fine. There was a reason, there was a purpose for that. Cool. Have him have his little moments, and then let's go back to Braun Breaker.
Yeah, it's still all really weird about how they just dropped AJ Styles versus Braun Breaker. You know what I think? I feel like they were really dead set on Braun Breaker being a babyface, and going up against AJ Styles would have delayed that. And turning him towards the Judgment Day allowed WWE to just lean into him being a babyface here.
Nothing that I thought was going to go down with Braun Breaker has gone down. I imagine Braun Breaker's Intercontinental Championship run almost similar to Gunther's, where he's just going out there and hurting people. That's what I thought this was going to be.
We hurt people.
Yeah, that's why I said it. I was like, the song stuck in my head. We hurt people. That's so for me, it's like, I don't feel like they've been presenting Braun Breaker like that. And given like the moment that he had with Speed, I would have thought that after that, they would have maximized the eyeballs on Braun Breaker.
With what though? That's the thing. What is the maximize? I feel like maximizing the eyeballs on Braun Breaker would have been AJ Styles.
Yes.
But I'm pretty confident it's AJ Styles, Logan Paul, and Mania, which we could probably talk about next.
Yeah, with that being said, AJ Styles and Logan Paul. I mean, God, this was kind of fun actually. So Logan Paul goes out there, and of course he's getting a bunch of boos and whatnot. He's talking about how nice guys finish last, and he thinks that Cody Rhodes is pretty much an idiot for not taking the Rock's offer, and he basically offers the Rock his soul. By the way, so his soul is on the table of the Rock wants Logan Paul. So this all leads to him and Andrew Schultz getting into an altercation. Andrew Schultz, who's at ringside, and Andrew actually did a really, really good job at this. Like, I love the part where he said, "This isn't Cleveland, Ohio. This is New York City." The way that he sold that, I thought that was great. And I feel like sometimes a lot of celebrities, they're sometimes a little awkward in these spots, especially at ringside. I thought he killed it, man, in this like little role that he had. And so, of course, Logan Paul gets pissed. He takes him into the ring. Looks like he's going to whoop his ass, but AJ Styles comes out and makes the save. And Logan Paul, scurries away. And AJ Styles is there raising the hand of Andrew, and they have a little moment there, a little celebration. It was fine. It was actually very, very fine. I was very entertained by this, but I just don't know. I was far more interested in AJ Styles and Braun Breaker though than I was Logan Paul and AJ. I don't hate it, but they teased me with this Braun AJ thing that was the thing that I was more interested in.
Yeah, look, I thought that this segment was fun, but I didn't think it was this big needle mover. It didn't get me excited necessarily for AJ versus Logan Paul. It was entertaining in the way that we got to see Logan Paul in his natural environment, being a good heel, getting a lot of heat, the fun stuff with Andrew Schultz. Like you said, I really liked Andrew Schultz's ability to play the role really, really well, where like, this is New York. We came to see real wrestlers. We didn't come to see you. We came for Punk. We came for Seth Rollins. We came for AJ Styles. You think anybody here came for you, Logan? I thought that was great. But, AJ Styles making the save, I felt like they did themselves a little bit of the disservice by not actually having an actual moment between AJ and Logan Paul. It was just AJ chasing off Logan Paul. I would have liked a little bit more to get a bit more excited for the actual match or feud.
Yeah, dude, I feel kind of bad, but that's where we're at with this, man. And here's the thing, though, Logan Paul and AJ Styles, I do think will have a phenomenal match. Oh, that was the other thing that I wanted to say. When AJ hit the phenomenal forearm, I'm like, bro, he almost took his lights out. That one was so well done. And I'm like, maybe it's because I haven't seen AJ hit the phenomenal forearm in a hot minute. He was gone for a bit. Maybe I forgot what it looked like, or really it did have that extra oomph today, and it's a phenomenal forearm. But I was definitely a fan of that portion of it. But yeah, the one thing I will say this, though, in comparison to Jey Uso and Gunther, at least there's a little bit more reaction with Logan Paul and AJ.
Oh, it always comes back to Jey and Gunther, huh? Like, that's just that.
I feel so bad. I'm so sorry.
If honestly, like, the Jey Gunther stuff makes me feel like I'm being such a negative Nancy, but I know I'm not just being negative for the sake of being negative. Like, that feud is missing excitement in general, and it's a shame because if you were telling me that they were feuding going into Fastlane, I'd be like, yeah, I could see that. But this is feuding going into WrestleMania with a Royal Rumble winner. It just feels like it's missing all of the correct things that a Royal Rumble winner feud going into WrestleMania should be having.
I feel ya. We got Ahmed El Hebsi here. Thank you so much to Ahmed, who says Roman caught Paul cheating with his ex killed me. Facts. I loved that. Thank you so much, Ahmed. We got Nathan and John here, who says death taxes, Judgment Day kicking out members. Yeah, I remember there was a bit where we were getting a bunch of like little people coming in and out of the Judgment Day. But hey, the Judgment Day is still alive and kicking, though. I thought they were going to be done by now, discarded. I thought it was going to be over.
They should be.
Yeah. We got Awkward Meow here, who says, my dream equals Rocks and Judgment Day or Rocks Punk Heyman. I don't think so. I don't see how that would fit in with the Judgment Day. And I feel like I would rather see Roxanne Perez do her own thing,
Agreed.
And I feel like she would feel like a little daughter to CM Punk. And so it wouldn't give like the vibes that you need for a group to have. Instead, it would be like father-daughter type vibes. So that's the only reason why I'm not completely for it. We got Steven. Thank you, Awkward Meow. We got Steven Marchulli, who says, is the member Aleister Black? I think that's so far like the best theory that Santi like you threw out. And I'm just like, I'm running with it. Like that's been the best option that I've heard so far. So I'm still in it. I'm running with it. Thank you, Steven. We got Jacob Tatum here, who says, Team Denise, if it was totally Chad Gable all the way. See, Santi, the people are with me on this.
I mean, you guys can join into this train of lies.
We're all on it. We're all in the train of lies. Thank you, Jacob. All right. With that being said, guys, we got to get into the Cody Rhodes segment. Cody Rhodes.
Oh, I forgot about it. I legitimately forgot about this.
This could have also kicked off the show because
I agree.
We were expecting Cody to come out. And I think had you heard the music, people would have been like, oh shit, Cody Rhodes is here. Let's see what we're going to get, right? I mean, he pretty much goes out there. Oh, this was the most interesting part of this. We got John Cena sucks, and then the non-John Cena, what was it?
Let's go Cena sucks.
Let's go Cena that sucks. Ugh, I can't even get that out right now. Yeah, that's literally what we got here. And Santi, I had been thinking, okay, there's a good possibility that the crowd is gonna cheer John Cena over Cody Rhodes, and this was the first sign of it actually happening, only because we had a split crowd here.
It's only split because he's not there. That crowd is not going to be split when he's there. It's just not. Heel Cena is something that a huge portion of the now adult wrestling fans have been looking forward to. They're not going to boo this. I really don't think that they do. It's easy to boo when you don't see him there, when Cody Rhodes is basically egging on the boos by mentioning Cena didn't want to be here. He said that it wasn't worth it to come to Madison Square Garden. It's easy to boo when the big baby face is egging on for booze when the opponent isn't there. But I think that once Cena goes out there with whatever this new presentation looks like, I don't think you're going to be hearing any Cena sucks.
I don't know, man. Part of me thinks that we might, Santi. I think it's a possibility. And that's why, because John Cena as a heel for a lot of people is going to be very freaking cool. And they're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to get behind him and I'm going to rock the boat. So I do think it can happen. But I think that all depends again on how John Cena does as a heel and how he comes across. And so far, it's coming across very, very well based off of the actual heel turn and then his actions at the presser. But again, I did mention at the top of this, though, John Cena will be on Raw the next 3 weeks. So, and they did promote a John Cena, Cody Rhodes face to face for this coming Monday in Belgium. So I'm like, that alone is worth the ticket of the price of admission as well as tuning into Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, they just to confirm, they said under the same roof. They haven't said that they're going to have a segment together, promo
But
together
they
in the
put
ring
them
at the
in the
same
card
time.
together. Oh my God, you think they're trying to swerve us?
They might.
That is true. They've never used that wording before. Under the same roof, or have they?
They
I don't think they have. Have
I
they?
don't know. I like maybe like I'm sure there's probably an example out there, but they were pretty explicit. Even the graphic said under the same roof. They didn't say face off, confront each other, talk. They said under the same roof. So I feel like they're
Wow.
I feel like this is your like you had to read the fine print. You know, if
I'm
you
gonna give you 100 million doll hairs. That's
yes.
what they did to us.
Yeah.
Wow. I am like kind of a little bit bummed out by that. So hopefully that's not the case. I do want to see like some sort of interaction, but we will see what happens with that. We got Nathan and John here who says, imagine if Ilya returned and won the Rumble. I would love that, but I just don't think that I don't know how to explain that. I think it would need a little bit more of a build for Ilya to do that, you know? Thank you, Nathan. I do love me some Ilya, but I think it would be a little bit too abrupt. All right, with that being said, do we got anything else to get into for this show? No, we covered it all. Holy
I
shit.
think we did.
Oh, yeah, we did. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
did I miss anything? No, we did
Yeah.
not. Damn. Well, there you guys have it. That was Monday Night Raw this March. Santi, not sure if you saw my message on Twitter, but I did say that I'm good with,
Yeah.
doing the show.
I think we have to watch it live.
That.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we have to watch it live. I was thinking about this as well. Have you tried, by the way, Denise, to watch Raw back on Netflix after it's done?
No, but I will try today.
Okay. So try and watch the international version or whatever it might be. All of the segments that happen during commercials, they cut out of the VOD. So if you were to watch it at 8 p.m., you're going to get the worst version because you're not going to get to see what happened during commercial breaks. They cut that out.
Oh, see, I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
But no, wait, that makes a little bit of sense because I kind of saw something like that happen to me when I was watching NXT. During the Jordan Grace Cora Jade match was when I noticed it, that I had seen like there was a piece missing that I didn't see, and I saw the jump and I'm like, that doesn't look natural. And so I wasn't sure. And then I found out that, other people had said that they saw all of these other things unfold. And I didn't see that in my feed because I had started watching the show about 40 minutes late and I just did the fast forward through commercials.
Yeah, you can't see the commercials or what happens during commercials.
Right. I had no idea. I thought I would be able to do so, and that wasn't the case. So that does make sense.
Yeah.
We do have another super chat here from Dingle21 here who says, should Cody give Travis Scott a receipt for the shoot slap he gave him at Elimination Chamber? It's different mentality nowadays. I think back in the day with certain wrestlers, they would have for sure given him a receipt. Now, I don't think Cody Rhodes would be the one to do that.
If it was another wrestler, I feel like it's a different set of rules, but he's not going to do that to Travis Scott.
Right, right. That's how I feel too. Thank you so much for asking, and thank you so much for the super chat. All right. So with that being said, so then Santi, you and I will be doing our post shows right after. So it's gonna be super, super actually not too early. The Crown Jewel shows are actually earlier than these Raw shows. So it'll be 12 p.m. West Coast time for me. For you, it'll be 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Yeah.
But these shows will change times. The time in I don't think it's the same time in Brussels as it is in London. Somebody might want to like double check that, like, because the time zones might change in this European tour as well. I don't know that they're all in the same, time zone.
Right. Okay. So just a heads up. Obviously, I'll be putting up the links and scheduling stuff and also letting you guys know on social media. But just hey, after Raw's over, the live version, we will be here live. And if anything, you guys can catch us on the replay. So all will be good. Santi, before we go, as always, thank you so much for tuning in here, for doing the show. Please tell the people where they can come and support you and check out all of your content.
You can come over to anything related to Santi's app, whether it's the YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, if you'd like. If you want to get yourself a Wrestling is Cool shirt, you can go to santizapp.store. But other than that, yeah, just Google Santi Zap. I don't know what happens if you Google Santi's app. Google Santi's app.
I'm gonna Google Santi just for fun and see what happens. All right, you guys. As for me, youtube.com/Denise Salcedo. Constant videos and podcasts going up on the channel. And then all social medias @_ Denise Salcedo. Thank you as always. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye, everyone.